Hey everybody, this is Ryan Schumacher for Module 1 Theory. A little bit about myself. I graduated from E-Town College in 2017. I'm about to finish my 4th year of teaching, my 3rd year at Palmyra, and I taught 1 year in Reading, and I currently teach algebra and pre-algebra in 8th grade. Why STEM? I think that STEM suits me pretty well because I think it's a necessary component for the future of education and of our world, and it allows our students to become critical thinkers, problem solve, and allow them to explore different fields and how they connect. A little bit about myself outside of school. I like being active, being outdoors. I'm very family oriented, traveling, hanging with family and friends. And a little bit about myself is that teaching was actually not my first choice. And to continue that, I am getting married this October, so I'm very excited for that. And I enjoy volunteering at the Animal Rescue League in Berks County. In terms of defining what STEM is to me, it's very similar to what Chapter 1 of the STEM Lesson Essential book said in terms of what Vasquez had mentioned. So what I view it as is integrating the 4 disciplines of science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, where students get to make real-world connections, they get to problem solve, and they get to critically think. In addition to that, the YouTube video titled STEM K-12 Education also makes it evident that the research says that when you do integration of the different content areas, it's important to balance the learning of the individual contents with understanding how to connect those into those areas also. And then it also states about the next generation science standards, where we need to continue to practice our skills to connect them and not view them as separate disciplines. In my classroom, I have to be a little bit more honest with myself and doing a better job of actually combining these different types of STEM ideas. Much of what we try to do is at the end of the unit, or as a project like an enrichment activity. So I plan on using this idea of building bridges with computer applications, and students have to answer this question: how do I apply the engineering design process to safely construct a bridge with the highest strength to weight ratio? And how it incorporates different STEM ideas. They have to identify the needs and constraints, research the problem, develop solutions, select a solution, build a prototype, test and evaluate, and redesign as needed. So when we look at that chart that is in Chapter 5 of the STEM Lesson Essential book, in science, in terms of asking questions, I had mentioned that before, how they're going to build the bridge with the highest strength to weight ratio. In engineering, they're going to develop and use models. So they're going to sketch bridge designs as possible solutions to analyze, explore, and test. In technology, they're going to learn how to use new technologies as they become available, so making prototypes to use a computer software instead of that hand-by-hand process. And in mathematics, they're going to construct arguments and critique each other. So, being able to provide constructive feedback to each other and then improve upon their ideas. So why do I feel that STEM education is important? From Chapter 2 of the STEM Lesson Essential book, Vasquez talks about the importance of STEM literacy and the 5 guiding principles. So kind of using that holistic view, in terms of the guiding principles, it's important to focus on integration so students can see the connectedness of the concepts, making sure that it's relevant and you convey the usefulness of the 21st century skills, which is listed as the 3rd one, so they get to collaborate, they're creative, they problem solve, and etc. They're challenging, it's grade level difficulty, it's intriguing to them, it's not boring them, but at the same time it can, pique their interest and mix it up, having a variety of activities, not just throughout the entire year. Certain topics work better than others. And then in the YouTube video with Neil deGrasse Tyson, he talks about the importance for STEM for our future. STEM's going to drive the economy with the future with jobs. So even if we're not using those skills constantly, it's important to become literate in all of these fields so that we can adapt to how companies are changing with these technologies. And a lot of those practices are pretty much listed in our book from page 30 to 37. So my goals of this class obviously is to become better connected with the disciplines in my own classroom, develop new challenging ideas, not just having those rote memorization things all the time, and having my students reflect on their own learning, because it's really important for them to not just hear from the teacher. And then my extra point is the Arthur book. I really liked it as a kid. And then there are my citations.